We're just having a look at how the wiring for the travel buddy in the coaster is done. Now you can see those whopping great big wires here. Very high amperage, solid connections to the battery terminals. That then comes out to the travel buddy line, which is here. At the moment I don't have it fused. I will be putting a fuse on this line a little bit later on. I just don't have anything suitable available at the moment. But this I don't think is ever going to suffer much from overheating problems. Heating some pies up in there at the moment. Yum yum, getting ready for lunch. A couple of nice little pies in there. So bringing that down to an Anderson plug and then running it on some really heavy duty line, I think it's going to solve any problems that are likely to occur from overheating. That's as room temperature as you can get, not a sign of any heat in that at the moment. It's been going for a while. So what I have to do is work out a way to get a fuse onto, I guess, this little thinner line here. I don't like adding extra joints to it, but they're going to be a bit of a source of heat when I do it. But running without a fuse bothers me a great deal. I don't want the coaster to burn to the ground one day because I was a bit lazy and thought that the heavy line would take enough load and this thin line would be able to handle all situations. I'm actually a bit surprised that Travel Buddy do use a line quite as thin as that. Personally, if I was building something, I'd want to build it so that there was never a possibility of a problem, and I would regard that as a little bit thin. I do like to go for overkill when it comes to safety, and as you can see there's not going to be much of a voltage drop on that. That's about the heaviest line you can get. It's actually a line that I took off a dead inverter quite some time ago, so if it's going to run an inverter from a battery system, it's certainly going to be able to handle anything I throw at it as far as the Travel Buddy's concerned. So we can just have a quick look in here. You can see the batteries in the corner there. We've only got two 120 amps in here. There's a third 120 amp in the trailer. I would like to have this at least another battery in here. It would give us a little bit more storage overnight, especially when we want to run fridges, two fridges and fans and whatnot. But then we carry a 3 kVA generator as well, so we're pretty well catered for with solar and generator in the coaster. Some of the wiring in the coaster is a little bit on the scary side when you have a look, but the main reason for that, we've got 3 fuse boxes in here. Overkill with fuses, I guess, but as I say, I prefer to be safe than sorry. I'd rather have a fuse blow than have something overheat and a fire resulting from that. These are only running lights and fans and whatnot. It's not really all that heavy duty up the front, but they run across the top here to the center section. But the reason I like to wire heavily like this at the start when I'm doing something is that you can add things to the end of that and not bring the load up too high for it. Some of the wiring that existed in here was a little bit on the light side, I think, but it's not too bad. It's not as heavy as I would use, but you can see the solar stuff in here. That's actually not too bad. The only thing is we won't get any reading on how much power the Travel Buddy takes, simply because the Travel Buddy is now a direct connect to the batteries. All I have to do now is pop a hole in the top of this to run the line through, and then I can just leave the connector lying under the padding on the top of the seat there. Don't have to pull this up every time we want to hook up the oven. So yeah, so that's just a quick look at how we're doing the job for the coaster. Basically the same principle as I did for the 4x4, a dedicated line running from the battery to the travel buddy. This was eventually part of the solution to putting a fuse on the line for the travel buddy, because it's a very high demand. We decided we'd put a circuit breaker in here. And what we've also done is put a fuse, a blade fuse, onto the travel buddy end, so it really doesn't matter where we plug the travel buddy in now, it's going to be fused as well. There's a chance that we'll use this connection for other things, so having a circuit breaker on it seems like a pretty good idea to me.